following Cj Nerf video is rated KTPA, kid tested, parent approved, and is intended for all audiences. Get over here! Public service announcement. When you are opening up your Nerf packages, always cut away from you, never towards you, like I poorly demonstrated in this video. This public safety service announcement brought to you by the Cj Nerf channel. That's right, guys. Today we're going to take a look at one of the newest blasters and the newest series that Nerf is heavily promoting as the next big thing. The Ultra Series, and the very first blaster that they are putting out in this series, the One. Now, the One is a flywheel battery-powered semi-automatic blaster that requires 4 C batteries, which are not included. The first thing that caught my eye with this blaster the minute I took it out of the box were the aesthetics and the overall look of this blaster platform. And I actually kind of like the way this actually looks. But I am curious to know what you guys think in the comment section about the aesthetics of the One. So if you actually like and dig the way this blaster looks, put the number 1 down in the comment section. And if you don't like it, go ahead and put the number 2. Now let's quickly take a look at some of the other features of the One. It's now time to go outside and test the box's claims of the Nerf's farthest flying Nerf dart, ranges up to 120 feet, kind of based on the power of the blaster and these characteristics of the dart. Now, my friends, this new Nerf Ultra dart was actually created to be the only dart that would be able to fire through the Nerf Ultra Series blasters. It's Nerf's way of combating all of the third-party ammo that's been popping up that's been compatible with Nerf blasters at a much cheaper price. I wanted to provide you with a size comparison of the new Nerf Ultra ammo next to the Mega Dart, the AccuStrike dart, and the Nerf Elite dart. The dimensions of this dart, as far as width, circumference, and length, is different to all that of any other type of ammo. Now, of course, the Ultra One ammo is the one in the center on the bottom, and as you can see, none of the dimensions match up with any of the other type of ammo. Now, guys, here's the difference between the drums on the Ultra One and, say, the Megalodon, just for instance. You can tell that this bar here prevents the dart from coming through, and the back of the dart is actually different than that on the Ultra One. So when you load it into the drum and you look back here, the bar actually prevents the dart from coming through. Now, looking at the Nerf Ultra dart, you can tell that raised bump on the back end of the dart, and that's much different than that on the Mega Dart. When you also compare the drum on the Ultra One, you'll notice that there's no bar here to prevent the dart from coming all the way through. When you insert the dart, the bump actually becomes flush with the back of the drum. That is what's different about this drum and this firing mechanism. So you do need to make sure that these darts are pushed all the way down to where this bump is actually flush with the back of the drum. I'm going to try to simulate how far that little orange pusher will actually come through here if this door was actually closed and the dart was ready to fire. So if I was holding the rev and I pulled the trigger, you can actually see how far the pusher arm will push the dart into where the flywheels are. As you guys know from previous tests, the end of my driveway is 80 feet. Across the street is about 100 feet. So where do you think the Nerf One ranges are going to fall between? Click that card popping in the upper right-hand corner of your screen and cast your vote before this range test and see if you can guess correctly. I will go ahead and provide you 5 different sets of ranges that you can choose from. right, guys, the Nerf Ultra One with these new darts claims ranges of 120 feet. The end of the driveway is 80. So I got anywhere between 75 for the majority to as much as right under 80. I did have a few that actually went over. You can clearly see them here. So you're looking at about 85, and those are at about 90 to 95. Overall, it's not reaching what the box actually claims. So guys, how'd you do? Did you actually guess right? The max ranges were basically between 75 to just under 80 for the majority of the darts. I did have a few that actually went over the 80 feet mark, but I didn't have any that actually hit, I would say, the 100-foot mark. Power is clearly there in the Nerf Ultra One. Check out these max effective ranges. The fence is 50. The two worst darts I had were at 55, and the majority of them were anywhere between 60 to as much as 68 feet. Quite nice. One thing to take note of, when you have the black and orange darts on the grass with some shade, it actually kind of can be a little difficult to locate. So if you have a straggler that's not in the main group, you may end up missing it. And at the price that these darts come in at, that could be a potential problem. So my friends, I am curious to know what you guys think of the range test and what you thought of the performance. Do me a favor, drop that down in the comment section and share your opinion. Now it's on to check out the pinpoint accuracy claims of these darts. So we're gonna move to the indoor range where weather or wind will not affect the dart performance. We're gonna fire from about 25 feet away. Then we're gonna bring my little man in here and let him test it to get a different perspective from a younger Nerfer. All right, blaster claims pinpoint accuracy. We're 25 feet away. The camera zoomed in just a little bit. Let's see how many times we can nail the target. Hey buddy, this is the new Nerf Ultra Series 1. It's a tough little flywheel to pull that trigger because it takes a little strength. But I want to see if you can do it for everybody out there, okay? Alright, hold on. Alright, let's see how good you can do with it, buddy. Whenever you're ready. That's not too bad, buddy. You're even nailing the target. Is that it? Hey, Caleb, it looked like it got a little bit tough for you to pull the trigger after a little bit, was it?
Yeah, because I have to hold two triggers.
So firing this blaster right now for you is not really gonna work, right?
A 14 or 15, or 6, 7 or 8, or 10 or 9 can do it.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you very much for helping us out and showing everybody. All right?
Okay.
So you have a good night, buddy.
Okay.
Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, my friends, I definitely put the Nerf Ultra One through its paces today, and I'd like to share some of my thoughts with you. One, as far as pros go, the one pro for me personally is the aesthetics of the blaster. And I don't mean the gold Ultra logo. I could care less about that. More or less the actual design and comfort of the blaster. The one thing I did actually find surprising was that this grip was actually pretty comfortable. I mean, you can see in there, I actually have extra room in there, and it was surprisingly comfortable. I thought it was going to be a lot more cramped than it actually was. And then with the dart storage on the stock itself, it's actually recessed enough where when your arm is like this and you're pulling it into your shoulder, you don't actually feel like they're pushing into your wrist. They feel recessed enough where it's actually quite nice. The stock is at an adequate length. I could pull it in nice and easily and feel very controlled with the blaster. The one thing I was not a fan of is when you're using the front grip, which is actually quite comfortable. As you can see, my wrist is actually up against the drum. So if I don't arc it out a little bit, I could actually prevent the drum from rotating as I pull the trigger and try to progress to the next shot. I was not really happy to see, with all the hype surrounding this blaster, that they're actually using C batteries on a personal note. I kind of wish they would have thrown a rechargeable platform in this system, but you can't always get what you want, right? At least they're not D batteries, right? I guess that's a sort of a plus. One thing you're gonna wanna know is when you're pulling the trigger, it does take a little bit of effort to actually pull it. And it almost felt like it was kind of almost, I wanna say, it was a long trigger draw, all right? And it just didn't feel as clean and refined as it probably could have been. And that really showed when I put this blaster in my son's hands, because he was able to actually get off about 8 shots. And then you saw it. He basically just turned around and he goes, that's it. His hand and fingers were, you know, they were done. He was tired. Now, keep in mind, this blaster is designed for ages 8+. My son's 5, so take that with a grain of salt for all of you parents out there that have younger Nerfers. Now, my friends, going back to the batteries for a quick second, once you put the 4C batteries here under this compartment, which slides up into this portion of the blaster, as you can see, that's center mass on the blaster. So it actually helps make this blaster a very balanced platform. And now, my friends, it's time to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the proprietary new quote-unquote innovative ammo that Nerf is creating in order to try to combat some of the other companies that are actually providing off-brand ammo that's compatible with Nerf blasters. Guys, let's start off with the worst part about this ammo. It's the price tag. Let's be honest. For 20 darts, you're gonna pay $10. That's 50 cents per dart. That's the most expensive Nerf ammo on the market to date. Guys, if you're like me and you're a parent and you have a kid and a mortgage and a house and insurance and all the other bills that come along in this world, I love the Nerf hobby. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind spending $50 on a blaster as long as I can use ammo in bulk. I don't want to pay that kind of money for ammo that I could potentially lose in one half-hour session just playing outside with my son. I mean, kids are not going to pay attention to where these darts fly. And let me tell you something, at that price point, parents are going to care. And the fact that these darts are not compatible with any other blasters out there and no other type of ammo is going to work with this blaster, it's really going to put a hamper on how many people are actually going to go for the Ultra Series. Not to mention, when you go outside and look at the range test, I was far from the 120 feet that Nerf was actually claiming with this new type of innovative type ammo. And honestly, I don't know, it just, I'm not blown away by it. I'm not blown away by this whole platform. There are plenty of blasters like this with cylinders, drums, and flywheel setups that there was really no need for this, to be honest with you. You know, really looking at it from a budget conscious type of way, I really would not recommend this platform. I am a huge fan of the Rival series. It's my favorite Nerf series, hands down, easily. The ammo is affordable. It's far more accurate than this ammo, and is a whole lot of fun to shoot. And my son can pretty much operate, I'd say 85 to 90% of the blasters behind me on this wall. 8 shots with this one and he was basically tapping out. Just for the record, I did pay the $49.99 for this blaster. I do YouTube reviews and I have a YouTube channel based around the entire Nerf hobby. So for me, this just comes with the territory. Whether the blaster's good or not, I get it, bring it to you guys so you guys can make an informed decision on whether or not you want to spend the money for, you know, blasters. Here's my buy, sell, or pass recommendation. It's going to be 50-50, guys. It's going to be totally up to you. If the ammo cost doesn't scare you away and you can afford to rock this, then by all means, when I fired and played around with this blaster, although it didn't reach the ranges that were listed on the box, I didn't have any jams. Just make sure you push the ammo as far into the drum as you have to. And the platform itself was balanced, and just keep your arm flared a little bit so you don't stop the rotation of the drum, and, you know, have fun with it. As far as, you know, my household and personally for me, I would have chosen a new Rival blaster, to be honest with you. The ammo is more plentiful, cheaper, more accurate, and we just have a ton of fun playing with the Rival stuff. So I don't see the whole need to go out and buy a whole new series of blasters that I actually have to outfit with all new darts and spend a ton of money to do it. So if any of you really have families and are working on a budget like I am, then it's just financially not feasible. That's the bottom line. If you guys found this review helpful, I'll see you guys on the next video.